Hey everybody, it's Brendan Borman back for a 270 stream. Tonight's stream is an exciting one. It is between Javier Rodriguez and Troy Moore. I will be zero spending, and I am independent Trump. It looks like Troy Moore is taking a shot with Abraham Lincoln, trying to take home the championship, going up against Javier Rodriguez and Michelle Obama. All right, so both of these players had to get through a tough field to get where they are now. Let's see how they start. Looks like we have a 1 pip in Florida for Troy. Looks like we have the double old classic Old South for Michelle Obama and Javier. Gonna pull up my phone here so I can make sure I get to all the comments. Welcoming 9 people, including David Robeson, Tyler DeMora, Jeffrey Boberwitz. Glad to have you guys here. Little bit of housekeeping. The rosters from the original auction draft, which was a blast, can be found on top of the screen. A shout out to all of our captains. We had Ben Shaban, we had Richard Altfeld, and we have 2 captains left. We have Siraj Thomas, who's being represented by Javier Rodriguez and Michelle. And we have Troy Moore, who is representing himself as Abraham Lincoln. Now, I did have a prize pool, and that will be disseminated after the match. I'll have to figure out that. I might pay the captain and have the captain pay everybody, but we'll get to that after the match is over. But here we are on to turn number 2. It looks like that Lincoln is pipping up into Florida. Does he go for swing states, or does he go right into New York? Looks like he's going right after New York. So, bypassing the swing state bonus, giving Michelle the Old South. The first bonus does go to Javier, and it looks like that Troy will be going after that African American bonus. As you can see, the Storm and Borman bet of the night is Troy Moore, -120. So I'm putting my reputation on the line. I'm picking Abraham Lincoln. Although both of these players are super tough, both of them should be in the top 10 when the October power rankings come around in the next couple weeks by Jason Casey. Tyler DeMora is in the comments. He is saying hashtag Team Troy. So can Troy bring it home? Little bit of rebranding for myself. I would appreciate, and I do thank you everyone who has liked and subscribed my videos on YouTube. It's a blast to make. It's no longer my name. It is at 270 videos. So you can find me there. I did post a couple videos today. I'm working on getting a few more up from matches this afternoon with myself. And then also we had a couple players who played, and I got to record them. Some friends going at it from our Team Democrat hashtag. Shout out to Daniel Smith, the tournament he's going on. Hello, Tyler Oberlag. Yes, rebranding. But I'll forever be Storm and Borman. The players are really thinking hard. Troy is sitting on an even 400K. He could go after a Michigan and a Tennessee combination to get him that African American bonus. We've also got Michelle Obama, who is working toward both the town and gown and already has Old South, possibly swing states. David Robeson thinks that the odds have flipped. Let's see how that plays off. There's Michigan. Did I call the Tennessee-Michigan thing? I did. I did. Wouldn't have worked on me, Troy. We do have someone else agreeing with David. Looks like Siraj is agreeing with him. So, all eyes, no action so far in New York for Michelle. But Michelle is pressuring hard. And she is in both Arizona and New Hampshire. So that's interesting because with New Hampshire, Arizona, Virginia, North Carolina, and Florida, that will secure the swing state bonus. So all eyes on Florida. Siraj saying that this is a bold and probably a mistake move by Troy, but it did work against Jason Casey. So can he repeat his success against Javier Rodriguez, who just beat Tossin the other day in a surprise match? Although those are two great players, anyone at that level can win. Want to give a shout out to everybody who is in Team Troy. Of course, we have Supan, Bart, Rashav, Tyler Demora, Taylor Mitchell, Joshua Neptune, Ishmael, and Justin Falls. And then over on Team Siraj, we have Jason Casey, Javier Rodriguez, David Robeson, who all made the Final Four, Rick Whitmer, Matthew Perkins, Tim Borman, my dad, making his 270 live stream debut, Jack Kelso, and Trevor Albert. What a team by Team Siraj. Trevor Albert is joining us in the comments, as is Tom Lepresti. Thank you so much for joining in. We've got 15 viewers. This is the conclusion of the subscribers only tournament. Players have 5-minute timers. Both players have been mildly saving so far. We do have the Old South securely under Michelle Obama's camp, and she is not facing any pressure. The only pressure thus far is in Florida. Yes, Trevor, you are new. You may ask a question. Clash in Florida. There it is. Boom. Big move. Big move. That's a 100,000 swing in Lincoln's camp, which was definitely needed. I'm waiting on that question from Trevor. Trevor with an AR. We've got Trevor with an OR. Albert in the stream as well. Now with that, we have even money, a 100,000 advantage in the state of Florida for Abraham Lincoln, facing no pressure in Michigan or in Tennessee. I do expect some pressure coming in one of those states. Could Lincoln also put some pressure in a Arizona or in a Virginia or North Carolina? That remains to be seen. But we are glad that you guys are tuning in. These are two of the best players inside the lounge. Troy Moore gave me my first defeat in the RHL this season. Started off 7-0 until I ran into the buzzsaw that is Troy. Troy had to beat Jason Casey, then beat David Robeson just to earn a spot here in the finals. And this is that finals. This Our draft took place on August the 20th, and here we are, October the 5th. It's been a long, grueling tournament. Thank you to everyone who has streamed, had many matches streamed in the lounge, and I'm glad we get to share this great game. Trevor asks, you know that line that shows your progress in the state groups? How do you know how many states you need to get that state group? I overspin because I'm not sure. That's a great question, Trevor. It's actually not that line is just a visual tool, but it's all based on the cost for each state and the total amount of money it costs to get the state group. And so the number one example that we give oftentimes when we're explaining it is swing states. So if you click on swing states, if you were to add up all of these states, it would total 399.5 thousand. And so in order to get one more than half, you would have to have a combined total of 200,000, because 200,000 times 2 is 400, which is one more than 399.5. And so if you add up the total cost of Florida, which is 100, Ohio, which is 50, 35, which is 185, and New Mexico, that's the cheapest combination that you can get swing states. So electoral votes do not matter. It's all based on cost. If you are just tuning in, Michelle Obama and Abraham Lincoln are the candidates. Troy Moore is definitely Abraham Lincoln. Javier Rodriguez III, Javi, oi, 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 is Michelle Obama. So it's interesting that neither player spent a whole lot of money there. We have Michelle pipping up in the Old South, expanding her outreach to possibly get African American. Troy, he did pip up into Illinois, just kind of hedging his bets, but he still has not secured a bonus. He did get to the third pip into Florida, but we will see. Definitely going to be a little bit of a cat and mouse game here very soon. Trevor, thank you for your help. Checked out your YouTube videos, and they are great. Keep up the work. I appreciate the kudos. I am working on a beginner series, and so what I'm going to do very soon is go state group by state group and just talk about the pros and the cons, the pivots off of those points, the different combinations that I like to use, and hopefully that can be beneficial. Now, I know everyone has their strategy. Different candidates are like if they like to play as a Democrat or Republican, and you just kind of have to play and see what works best for you. Okay, so this is going to be a big turn. If I think that Javier could make a game-changing steal, he also could continue to save. I think that if I know Javier, he might double pip into California and go up in Pennsylvania to try to secure the high tech bonus, and then eventually make a kind of an inside track at the African American if he's able to maybe flip Tennessee. Let's see. So there's 500. Okay, there's the Florida steal. So maybe I don't know Javier. So that is most likely going to set himself up to get that African American bonus. Should he not face too much pressure in the Old South. However, Troy did counter. Let's check out that map here in just a second. See, and David is asking New York or Florida steal. He is actually not in New York, so it had to be Florida. So again, classic Old South, all these states plus Florida is enough to get the African American bonus. If you get Arizona, which he is now facing pressure, that does allow you to like not get a Alabama or a Mississippi should you face pressure, which really the only pressure is coming from Virginia, North Carolina, Arizona, and Florida. So if they go back to Florida, it is now a 3 pip lead. for Michelle. She does have the cash advantage, and she is getting 40,000 per turn in the Old South. So while that is a very small bonus, it is allowing her to expand her reach just a tad farther than Abraham Lincoln is able to. Now, Lincoln is in Illinois and Michigan, which are both manufacturing states, and so he always has that pivot to Texas. But that African American bonus is just so crucial because Lincoln has the 50% bonus, as does Michelle Obama. So that's 150,000 per turn that each of these players would get if they are able to secure enough funding. The good thing for Michelle this turn is that she does not have to defend Florida. She just has to pip up in a number of states and not lose North Carolina, Virginia, Arizona, or a combination, maybe one or two, depending on what happens here. Now, she could also low spend. She could kind of hedge her bets. Troy, he only has 313,000. He's got to make a move, but he's got to do it in a way that doesn't overcommit him for a future turn. So that's going to be really tricky with this move. I definitely would favor Javier in this position. I did like that move from Troy to go both into New York and Florida. It was interesting. We do have a comment here, Versace Polak in the comments. How do you use the debate mode? So debate mode can be triggered with this big yellow circle right here. If I were to click on it, it does cost 99 cents every time you do it. So it's not just a one-time purchase. It's an every game. Just one person has to purchase it, and then all players in the match get to participate. If you don't want to try it yourself, I did make a YouTube video. You can follow me at 270 videos, and I did make a short video of trying it for the first time. Now, I do know that we are planning on having a town hall with the 270, one of the moderators, talking about debate modes and changes that have been coming and continuing updates to the game. And they are going to make sure that they add a 90-second timer to all future debates. So that's something that you can look forward to. The questions are very I'd say random, but they're hard. I mean, they're not something that normal people would know. It's information from USA Facts, and so we do have a very low spin here from Lincoln. Can Michelle quite get that African American bonus? She's not going to, and she is not able to get the swing state bonus either. She did spend quite a bit of money in North Carolina and in Virginia, but was thinking that maybe Troy would get nervous and have to spend some of his extra funding. You are welcome, Versace. David, as much as I want to try and do that, I owe it to these guys to play it straight up, as you know. Got new Trevor back in the comment section. Who is a stronger duo of Lincoln and Martin Luther King vice president, or Trump 2020 with a Pence vice president? If you were only going to buy one. So a lot of the conversations around vice presidents revolve around, being overpowered. And honestly, it's you only get to that point when you've got candidates who either are just so strong in like lots of different categories, or if you have one that's so high, like if you do a Joe Jurgensen and Julius Caesar combination that makes gun lobby 70%. In your example, Lincoln and Martin Luther King would also have a 70% African American bonus, but that's just one bonus. I like Trump 2020 and Pence. I know Javier Rodriguez, who's playing as Michelle Obama. That's one of his favorite combinations, getting that 50% evangelical, Old South, having kind of more of an African American, but also you have your stronghold Republican, agriculture, manufacturing, oil. It gives you a lot of versatility. So it depends. Like some people think that Santa Claus is the best player in the game. I don't use Santa Claus all that often. It just comes down to personal preference. And so if you are looking to buy a candidate, I encourage you to try a subscription. It's a month by month cost, and you get access to all the candidates. It's really a good bang for your buck. David Robeson is saying that turn was a mistake. I'm assuming that he is talking about in terms of Javier's perspective. Should have picked up in Arizona and New Hampshire for swing. So let's take a look at that. So I know we've got some newer players. He's not quite to the bar, and just like we were talking about earlier, Florida, North Carolina, Virginia. So 100, 142, plus 22 and a half, plus 24, plus 12 and a half would get you enough for the swing state bonus. Now it'll be interesting to see if Troy does pip up this turn in Arizona to maybe block that. We do have Michelle in Iowa. Rebecca Gill tuning in from halfway across the world, taking a break from Among Us. Okay, Alabama goes to Lincoln. So we've got a play here for the African American bonus. Swing state bonus might be denied this turn. Florida defense. Lincoln is being played by Troy Moore. Javier Rodriguez is playing as Michelle Obama. And everything so far this turn has gone to Lincoln. Very successful turn for Lincoln. Is that enough for the African American bonus? It is. Even if it's just for one turn, that is huge. That 150,000 bonus funds that can be used in the African American to increase his lead in some states and to expand. He did a great job of getting into Delaware, District of Columbia, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, and Louisiana. Louisiana might be where Javier might want to think about defending. He does have a pretty substantial lead in Virginia and North Carolina. That would be more risky for Troy. He was also able to hold off Michelle again from that swing state money. So likely what Michelle will probably do is go up in New Mexico and Iowa and kind of punt Arizona. If I was Lincoln, that would be one of the states that I am in strong consideration of closing off, just because that is such a crucial state to have for Latino, for African American, for swing states, all of those good things. Mike Moore, thank you so much for turning into this stream. I can't talk all of a sudden. We have Siraj, Andrew Legnani. I'm at a loss as to why Town and Gown isn't being grabbed, then High Tech, due to Michelle and her High Tech bonus. Well, Andrew, that is because there was such a critical fight for that African American bonus. Michelle is not even in New York. So if you were wondering why she didn't go Town and Gown, she prioritized making sure that Lincoln, who took an interesting strategy in going both for Florida and New York, did not get the African American bonus. Michelle was successful in stealing Florida, but has had to increase the funds all the way up to the 8th pip, while Lincoln is just standing firm on the 3rd pip. So that is why on turn number 9 that it looks like that she avoided Town and Gown, and just as the way that it shook up. So 4th pip of District of Columbia and Delaware, so that'll help increase his odds of sticking with the African American bonus. There's Iowa. We expect New Mexico soon for swing, and he is going to go ahead and pursue that Town and Gown bonus with Arizona. Arizona was not spent in by either candidate. Virginia is going to be closed off by Michelle. Just low spending with that 182. maybe hoping for a clash. She does lose the Old South bonus, but she does pick up the larger and more significant swing state bonus. So as we enter the double-digit rounds of turn number 10, I want to say thank you to everyone who's tuned in. We've got Bryce Hopkins, we've got Oscar Garcia, and Joshua Neptune, one of the most underrated players in the lounge. Welcome in, guys. This is the finale of the subscribers only tournament. We have Troy Moore being played as Abraham Lincoln right now with a 131 to 107 electoral lead. The money's pretty even. We did have Michelle low spin last turn. Michelle, of course, is being played by Javier Rodriguez. We do have just right now Virginia and its 13 electorals closed off. Have a lot of money, over $1 million total spent so far in Florida, which is to be expected with both these players' interest in the African American bonus. Now, Troy will look to expand, and he can go up into Massachusetts and go ahead and get that town and gown bonus. He did also pip up in Rhode Island, which was smart, as well as maybe holding on to District of Columbia. That could make, that would make Arizona expendable. But then again, does Michelle risk it with her swing state money and risk a clash, maybe losing in North Carolina? But that would be such a risky steal for Troy. I just don't see that in the cards right now. Let's look at Michelle's case here. Michelle, she does have maybe a case for manufacturing and then maybe try to get high tech and pressure New York. I don't know. It's kind of an interesting game right now. I definitely would lean Troy at this very moment, but it's quite a back and forth game. Andrew returning to the comment says, makes a bit of sense, but that doesn't make sense for high tech, totally neglecting Massachusetts, Connecticut, Washington, even after Virginia and Maryland being at the third pip. So those are all crucial states. It just depends, Andrew, on what bonuses that these players kind of target and kind of fight over. Plenty of players, don't mind giving up the high tech bonus as long as they can secure the African American bonus, or vice versa. I'm totally comfortable getting town and gown in high tech and going up against someone who has swinging African American. It's a tough battle. I think that you have a little bit more leeway if you're on the swing and African American side, just mathematically, and the amount of defending you have to do. But Troy does get anxious. He does do kind of what Michelle did last turn. He just closes off Arizona. We do have North Carolina to the 9th pip. There's Pennsylvania, and there is the pivot to Texas. So Michelle is able to open up into Texas first. Welcome to the stream, Chad. So looking at that is the town and gown bonus. That's a pretty significant 93,500 per turn. And so as we look into the state groups, of course, African American is now firmly in Abraham Lincoln's corner, despite not having any of Virginia, North Carolina, or Florida. Of course, Latino, assuming that Troy does get California, would most likely go to Troy, but Illinois is being pressured, so that one is really up in the air. Oil, so high tech, looking at that, we do have, that's, really with Virginia, Maryland, and Pennsylvania already being in Michelle's, already being invested there, that honestly could be the deciding bonus. So it's going to be interesting to see if Michelle does make a strong play for manufacturing. Old South is kind of split, but I don't expect Michelle to kind of go after that bonus at this point. That was more of a bridge to get to the African American. So as we look at Abraham Lincoln does have that 50% African American, pretty strong candidate. 25% manufacturing and that 25% town and gown, which is really helping him at the moment. He does have penalties in high tech and oil and gas, but that doesn't make those bonuses not important. Whereas Michelle, of course, she does have that swing state bonus and that 20%, despite never being a presidential candidate herself, which is one of the pet peeves of mine with this game. But she does have a 20% high tech, and she does have Latino. So if she's able to get Latino and maybe piggyback that into manufacturing where she does not have a penalty, if she's able to get high tech that way, that would be her path forward, in my opinion. Very interesting, though. I think she played a little bit more defense by going into Texas than she did offense. Could she decide to pivot over to California, go after high tech, and dare Lincoln to take her on in Texas? That actually would probably be more of the mindset that Javier is doing right now. He wanted to make sure, maybe even clash. Maybe he thought that Lincoln would go into Texas. Pieces are starting to join together. Welcoming back Tyler Oberlag and Dennis Muxlow into the comment section. Again, these are two fantastic players if you're new to the game. This is a stream of the subscribers only tournament. You can find my YouTube videos at 270 videos. My name is Brendan Borman, and we do have the team rosters right above us. So Team Siraj is definitely cheering for Javier Rodriguez and Michelle Obama. And we've got Team Troy cheering on the captain, Troy Moore himself. We have some feedbacks from one of the players. Adam Montgomery thinks that Troy should definitely double tap California. And I didn't want to influence the outcome, but that's kind of what I was thinking, Adam. It is by far Michelle's best path forward to get that high tech bonus. Pressure in states like Michigan, pressure in Massachusetts, and more importantly, New York. And also help her maintain Pennsylvania and Maryland. Troy does have 726,000, so he should have no problem double tapping into California. But we'll see. We'll see. Michelle does have quite a bit of swing state money. Oh, the single pip. Interesting. Okay, so North Carolina's closed off. Did he go? No, he didn't go 1-1 because, okay, so there's going to be the manufacturing bonus, assuming that she goes up in another state. Did she go up in? I don't think so. So Old South is a very big penalty, a 50%, so it's cut in half. Instead of 50K, Abe Lincoln only gets 25, but heck, that's a pip and a little bit and change of Arkansas. Can't forget about them Arkansas people. Let's look. So Michelle didn't attack in Illinois, didn't attack in Michigan, and she does have uncontested path in Pennsylvania. So I would assume that is the play, going up 2 pips into Pennsylvania along with North Carolina. That will give Michelle a much needed bonus of manufacturing. It'll also position her to get high tech, but because Troy did beat Michelle over to California, that's going to be quite difficult. So maybe a low spin here, just get your Pennsylvania bonus and kind of go from there. Not having New York pressure is absolutely huge. And at this point in the game, it's going to cost a very significant portion of Michelle's funds to place 1 pip into New York. And at that point, how serious is that pressure? Because Lincoln has the African American bonus and several other bonuses to combat that. Adam is saying that Troy took a risk by single tapping, but it really paid off. Yes, those are the mind games. We had an attempted steal in Illinois that was very unsuccessful. Wisconsin will go ahead and get the agriculture bonus, which I should have thought of before the turn started, and the manufacturing, so that was definitely better than Pennsylvania. For the short term, Latino and high tech and export all go to Troy. So by a 6-3 margin, we have a substantial lead in the Electoral College for Abraham Lincoln and money-wise. So we have $1 million to $571,000. Just looking at the states that they are in. Andrew saying that if Troy gets California, it's pretty much Troy's bonus to get. And I'm assuming that he's still talking about high tech with his comment from earlier. Javier going for Illinois is classic, says Rick Whitmer. And he was unsuccessful there. I'm going to go ahead and hit in my turn here. Yes, high tech. Thank you, Andrew, for clarifying. Hello, Jeff Ray. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've got 23 awesome loungers. And Siraj, maybe a little panicked captain tuning in. Let's see what Siraj has to say. Oof, this is getting ugly quick. Still think it was a mistake earlier not letting Troy overspin in Florida and one pipping in New York, which would have punished Troy for the New York and Florida move. You know, I disagree with that, Siraj. I think that it's great to have pressure. I don't think that was a wrong move, what you just described. But I'm not so sure that Troy would have overspent because at that time, he wasn't, Javier wasn't fully expanded in the Old South. He didn't have enough money to steal Florida and get the African American bonus, let alone swing without risking a clash or wasting money. Now, I do think that his biggest mistake that David Robeson pointed out earlier was not pipping up into Arizona and in New Hampshire when he had the chance. And that was a big setback where he did not get that swing state bonus. David Robeson is asking who beat Troy the first time. I don't have my bracket pulled up at the moment. We can definitely ask him. But I do know that for those of you who are listening, maybe know this is a single elimination tournament. However, Troy is the captain, and one of his players, Rashav, did back out of the tournament, and so we didn't want this tournament with all the pomp and circumstance of being kind of promoted all over the lounge. And I do think that Siraj and his team did the noble thing by allowing Troy to kind of go through the gauntlet of Jason Casey, David Robeson, and now Javier. But this is far from over. Let's see how turn 13 shakes out. Oh, the ninth pip, Michelle does not steal Illinois. Is closed off, as is Louisiana. And this is looking to be dire straits now for Javier. Siraj is saying that Daniel Smith was maybe the first person to beat Troy, which I think that does sound right. Michelle is going to go ahead and get the oil bonus. So that is a 52,000. That is the last bonus. So we will have a 6-4 bonus advantage. However, that was a lot of money. A lot of money spent in Illinois and not getting a bonus or not getting any electors. That's definitely going to be a problem. I do want to circle back to Adam Montgomery's comment just a little bit ago. He did say that Javier's big mistake, again being played by Michelle Obama, was the North Carolina overspend. That was the turning point. And I think that was a calculated risk. I'll be honest, if I'm playing Javier and I'm in Troy's shoes, that move probably would have worked against me because I would have thought, okay, I have to take at least one of North Carolina, Virginia, or Arizona. I probably would have tried to hedge and go maybe a Virginia, Arizona, and leave North Carolina alone. But to prevent swing, prevent AA, and maybe go to like the fifth pip on each of them, but try to also save at the same time. And I think that Javier miscalculated that. That Troy would very, very low spend, and that did set himself up for the cash advantage and the ultimate advantage in the African American bonus, which really was the turning point in the game. Looking back at Siraj, it's cool. We all have different opinions on the turning point. I'm still going with the early decision. I know it's going to be tough for Javier at this point, but Troy deserves it for the run he was on. I completely agree, and I'm not. I'm just talking about what my opinion was. It is all good for sure. Andrew is asking if we have 100 EVs locked in. I'm counting 19, 39, 42. 57. I am not counting 100 EVs locked in. Go up by 2. If Troy goes like 7, he'll lose the AA race. You're 100% right, Brendan, Borman, and Adam Montgomery. That is live comments from Javier. Again, I don't envy Javier. I had to get in the crosshairs with Troy the other day, and I wanted to pull my hair out. That's kind of why I have a bald spot going on. No, it's actually because I'm getting kind of old, but my birthday is this month. I'm a Halloween baby. I will turn 29 years old on Halloween, so be on the lookout for some kind of wacky Wednesday or something fun to celebrate. Turn 14, we've got a lot of clashes going on. Michigan is sealed. Some more clashes. Javier coming in the comments saying that Troy Moore is a hell of a competitor, and I'm glad I lost to a great player. So he is throwing in the towel, which I know he's not going to quit, or he might, and it's okay if he does. But it's very easy to get snowballed out of control when you go for a big state like Illinois and don't quite get it, especially when the African American bonus and this Latino and high tech, everything is just snowballing. Um, it says Siraj, says to be honest, in the game, a single bad turn could turn the outcome completely. 100% agree. And Tyler Oberlike says, "Oh, that's why." LOL. Don't know what that means, but feel free to follow up, Tyler, if you want to. James Bandolin saying hello with some extra spaces and then some exclamation points. Hello, hello. I appreciate all of your support, James, on my YouTube videos. You're one of my loyal subscribers making some comments, and I appreciate it all. Colorado flips. If you guys are watching and you have not taken part in the official 270 tournament going on right now, the code to enter into the tournament is VP, and you can do that. Just make sure that you when you are in the lobby, you're maybe trying to stay away from me. I'll be rocking that Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton combination. And yes, so Tyler Oblak was talking about the bald comments. So there go all the bonuses. Very unfortunate turn for Michelle. But at this point, just kind of going through the motions here. Might see a forfeit, actually. Just check out the comments. Oof, says Javier. I hear you, man. Good game. Andrew Legnani, good game, guys. David Robeson, great tournament, Brendan. Maybe next time. Yeah, I really appreciate it. It was a fun ride. We had 37 players check out this tournament and get involved, and we had a live auction draft over Zoom where people got to bid on people and strategize. We'd draft and determine the candidates that people played with. Definitely a fun idea. Just a little bit of kind of personal news as far as hosting tournaments go. I am going to take a break from hosting a tournament. I know that we have a lot of stuff going on in the lounge. Make sure you check out the choice being hosted by Javier Rodriguez. We have Richard Gadd. I'm in a tournament with him, but I do plan to continue my Wacky Wednesday series. I will be taking this Wednesday off as season 1 just ended and David Robeson took home the prize. But be on the lookout for the middle of October when I'll be launching a season 2 of Wacky Wednesday. And we'll also be giving away a $25 gift card to another subscriber. So it does pay to subscribe. You can follow me on YouTube at 270 Videos. And again, I really appreciate everyone's support. Just being a good person in the lounge. With the election coming up, we've got some crazies in the world on both sides of the political aisle, and this game can be an escape for a lot of people. So I know right now Javier wants to be the one who escapes this awful match that is going on, but this is in no way a reflection of Javier. Javier is a fantastic player, a great dude, and I wish him well in his new job. But Troy Moore, I tell you guys, if you are casting a vote in the October power rankings, there is no way you cannot have Troy in that top 10. And honestly, it's looking like we may have single digits. So Troy and myself, we are captains in a new kind of it's based around The Voice, but we call it The Choice. So we're looking forward to going head to head in that. And it looks like Troy is saying that he'll catch Javier in the RHL finals. So with that, we do have a turn 17 forfeit. 409 is the final score. And Storm and Borman's bet of the night comes through again. Remember to never wager more than you can afford to lose. Oh, I've got a forfeit as well. Just gonna go ahead and end. Let's see, options, forfeit. Awesome. So a big congratulations to Team Troy. So as I go back to the OBS here, so the entire roster of Team Troy does win the cash prize. I will be in communication with Troy on how to collect those funds. So Supan, Bart, Tyler Demora, Taylor, Joshua Neptune, Justin Falls, and Ismail will all take home a cash prize. Until next time, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the stream. It's been fun. And if you guys ever want to talk 270, you guys can always send me a message through Messenger, through Facebook. And until the next 270 video, this is Brendan Borman saying goodbye.